Assalamualaikum. So guys, I've been trying to figure out why America and Britain, all these countries are essentially bowing down to Israel, right? Why they're going wherever Israel's taking them. So I thought, what's the best place to try to understand the people from is to learn about their history. Where best to learn the history from than to their religious texts. So I went into the Bible to try to understand where the Jewish people came from and where the Christian people came from and what their backstory was. So every character or every nation has a backstory. So to understand, there's a saying, the really famous saying, to understand where you're going, you need to understand where you've come from. So keep that in mind. To understand where you're going, you need to know where you've come from. Right? To understand what this nation's psyche or thinking is, you need to understand where they've come from and what their belief systems are. So come on this journey with me. So today's video is about Genesis 17. Do you know what nation came from Abraham? Why is it important?
To understand what's going on in the world, this is a good place to start. So here we've got Abraham. When he was 99 years old, the Lord appeared to Abraham and said to him, I am God Almighty, walk before me and be blameless, and I'll make a covenant between me and you and multiply you greatly. Then Abraham fell down on his face, and God said to him, behold, my covenant is with you, and you shall be the father of a multitude of nations, meaning many nations. No longer shall your name be called Abram, but now you shall be called Abraham, for I have made you the father of a multitude of nations. I will make you exceedingly fruitful, and I will make you into nations, and kings shall come from you. Right? So I will make you into nations, and kings shall come from you, and I will establish my covenant between me and you and your offspring after you through their generations for an everlasting covenant, to be God to you and your offspring after you. Right, so this is where it starts from, and then essentially he makes the covenant with him there. Then he goes on and adds to the covenant about Isaac. So now the next part of the story is, so Abraham has two sons. He has Ishmael, then he has Isaac. Isaac then gets married. So remember, Abraham's told that he's going to be the father of many nations. Multitudes of nations are going to come from him. So he has a son. His name is Isaac. Isaac's wife is pregnant, and while she's pregnant, she's feeling this disturbance in her. So she goes to the Lord and she asks. So here, Genesis 25, verses 22 and 23. The babies jostled each other within her, and she said, why is this happening to me? So she went to inquire of the Lord. The Lord said to her, 2 nations are in your womb, and 2 people from within you will be separated, and 1 people will be stronger than the other, and the older will serve the younger. Now keep that in mind. Abraham was told he was going to become the father of many nations. So these 2 boys that Rebecca gives birth to, so here you go. When the night came, Rebecca gave birth to twins. The first baby was red, and his skin was like a hairy rope. He was named Esau. When the second baby was born, he was born tightly holding onto Esau's heel. So the baby was named Jacob. Right, note this is crazy, this. So the first baby comes along, and the second baby, the younger one, is holding tightly onto him. So he's grabbing him, he's got a grasp of him, right? So that baby was named Jacob. Isaac was 60 years old when Jacob and Esau were born. The boys grew up. So these 2 nations, these progenitors of nations, grew up. Esau became a skilled hunter who loved to be out in the fields, but Jacob was a quiet man who stayed at home. Isaac loved Esau. He liked to eat the animals that Esau killed, but Rebekah loved Jacob. So remember this. So one day Esau came back from hunting. He was tired and weak from hunger. Jacob was boiling a pot of beans. So Esau said to Jacob, I am weak with hunger. Let me some of that red soup. That is why my people call him Red. But Jacob said, you must sell me your rights as the firstborn. So the younger brother is telling the older brother, listen, I'll give you some soup, but you have to sell me your birthright, your title of a birthright. So Esau says, I'm almost dead with hunger. So what good are these rights to me now? But Jacob said, first promise to me that you will give them to me. So Esau made an oath to him and sold him his rights as a firstborn son to Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau the bread and the lentil soup, and Esau ate the food, and he had something to drink, and he left. So crazy this. Now keep this in mind, what's happening. Remember, right? So it said here, Jacob tricks Isaac. So the younger brother tricks the older brother. So it says here, Genesis 27, Isaac grew old, okay, and his eyes became weak, and he could not see clearly. One day he called his older son Esau and said to him, son. Esau answered, here I am. Isaac said, I am old now, maybe I will die soon. So take your bow and arrow and go hunting. Kill an animal for me to eat, perhaps. Prepare the food for me that I love. Bring it to me, and I will eat it. Then I will bless you before I die. So Esau went hunting. Rebekah was listening when Isaac told this to his son Esau. Rebekah said to her son Jacob, listen, I heard your father talking to your brother Esau. Your father said, kill an animal for me and to prepare it for me to eat. And I will eat it. Then, with the Lord as witness, I will bless you before I die. So listen, son, do what I tell you. You go to our goats and bring me 2 young ones. I will prepare them the way your father loves them. Then you will carry the food to your father, and he will bless you before he dies. But Jacob told his mother, Rebekah, my brother Esau is a hairy man, and I'm not a hairy like him. If my father touches me, he will know that I am not Esau. Then he will not bless me. Instead, he will curse me because I tried to trick him. Rebekah said to him, I will accept the blame if there is trouble. Do what I said. Go get the goats for me. So Jacob went out and got 2 goats and brought them to his mother. His mother cooked the goats in a special way that Isaac loved. Then Rebekah took the clothes that her older son Esau loved to wear. She put the clothes on the younger son Jacob. She took the goat skin of the goats and put them on Jacob's hands and on his neck. Then she got the food she had cooked and gave it to Jacob. Jacob went to his father and said, Father. His father answered, Yes, son. Who are you? Jacob said to his father, I am Esau, your firstborn son. I've done what you told me. Now sit up and eat the meat from the animal that I have hunted for you. Then you can bless me. But Isaac said to his son, How have you hunted and killed the animal so quickly? Jacob said, Because the Lord your God allowed me to find the animals quickly. What trickery, bro. Then Isaac said to Jacob, Come near to me, so I can feel you, my son. And if I can feel you, I will know that you really are my son Esau. So Jacob went to Isaac, his father, and his father felt him, and he said, Your voice sounds like the voice of Jacob, but your arms are hairy like Esau. Isaac did not know it was Jacob because of his arms were hairy and like Esau, so Isaac blessed Jacob. So remember, this is Isaac, one of the big, like the greatest prophets, blessing his son Jacob, right? And this is the blessing he gives him. So Isaac said, Are you really my son Esau? So he's a bit skeptical. Jacob answered, Yes, I am. There's the lie. Crazy. So the blessing for Jacob. Then Isaac, the prophet, right, with God as his witness, says, Bring me the food to eat, and I'll bless you. So Jacob gave him the food. Ate it, and then Jacob gave him some wine, and he drank it. Then Isaac said to him, Son, come near and kiss me. So Jacob went to his father and kissed him. When Isaac smelled Esau's clothes, he blessed him and said, My son smells like the fields the Lord has blessed. May God give you plenty of rain, good crops and wine. May the nations serve you, and many people bow down to you. You will rule over your brothers. Your mother's sons will bow down to you and obey you. Whoever curses you will be cursed, and whoever blesses you will be blessed. Now, this is really important to understand. So when we hear all these evangelical Christians saying, right, that whoever blesses Israel will be blessed and whoever curses Israel will be cursed, this is why they say it. So this blessing that Jacob has got, right, so Jacob, remember, in the future, he will become known as Israel because he has 12 sons, right, and these sons become the 12 tribes of Israel. So remember Abraham's covenant, that he will become the father of many nations. So each one of the tribes of Israel, or Jacob, right, becomes millions and millions of people. So the Christians believe whoever blesses Jacob, right, or Israel, will be blessed, and whoever curses him will be cursed. Interesting, isn't it? But let me take you back to the story, right? So Esau, now the older brother, remember he went out hunting and the young ones tricked him. Now Esau's blessing. So Esau comes back. Now Isaac had finished blessing Jacob. Then just as Jacob left his father, Esau came in from the hunt. Esau prepared the food in the special way his father loved. He brought it to his father and said, Father, I am your son. Get up and eat the meat from the animal that I killed for you. Then you can bless me. But then Isaac says, Who are you? He answered, I am your son, your firstborn son, Esau. Isaac became so upset that he began to shake. Then, who was it that cooked and brought me food before you came? I ate it all and I blessed him. Now it is too late to take my blessing back. When Esau heard his father's words, he became very angry and bitter. He cried out and he said to his father, Then bless me also, father. Isaac said, Your brother tricked me, and he came and took your blessing. Esau said, Isn't he rightly named Jacob? This is the second time he's taken advantage of me. He took my birthright and now he's taken my blessing. Then he asked, Haven't you reserved any blessing for me? Isaac answered Esau, I have made him lord over you, and have made all his relatives his servants, and I have sustained him with grain and new wine. So what can I possibly do for you, my son? Esau said to his father, Do you have only one blessing, my father? Bless me too, my father. And Esau wept aloud. Then his father answered him, Your dwelling will be away from the earth's richness, away from the dew of heaven above. You will live by your sword, and you will serve your brother. But when you grow restless, you will throw his yoke from your neck. Now this is really interesting. So what Isaac is saying to Esau, the older brother, right? So Esau's complaining, look, he's tricked me twice now, right? His father said, look, I can't do anything. I've only got, I've given him a blessing already. I've made him the Lord over you, so you're going to be a slave to him. But he adds this in. He says, your dwelling will be away from the richness of the earth. So you won't be that rich, okay? From the heaven, and away from the dew of the heaven above. You will live by your sword. Have you figured out who Esau is, or what nation Esau became? And you will serve your brother. So who serves Israel? Which nations serve Israel? Right? So when you hear evangelical Christians saying, whoever blesses Israel will be blessed, and whoever curses Israel will be cursed, this is what they're saying. So remember, Jacob was also called Israel. He became the father of 12 nations. Right? That's why they believe that they have to serve him. But then, this is the part that evangelicals and the Jewish people don't really mention. It says here, but when you grow restless, right? 27:40, you will throw his yoke off from your neck. So basically, he's saying that the Christians will have a yoke. So the Jewish people have some sort of hold around them. They'll always have them gripped. Remember how Jacob was holding onto Esau's leg or foot when he came out? Now, if you look at it, wherever Christian nations are, the Jewish people end up there, right, and they grab a hold of them. Right? And have a think about it now. What kind of tactics do they use to control the Christian people? What kind of yokes do they put around their necks? Have a think about that.
So, have you figured it out? Esau, right, became the father of the Christian nation. In Islam, we believe that Jesus was called Isa. I'm just making that link here. So the children of Esau essentially became known as the Romans and the Christians. And the children of Jacob, right, the younger son, became known as the Israelites. So Jacob later on has a dream in which he has a wrestling match with God or an angel, and he beats him, and his name is changed from Jacob to Israel. And he has 12 sons, and they become the Israelites. So the Romans, or the children of Esau, remember, Isaac promises them to be servants of Jacob. Crazy. This is why the Christians are essentially serving the Jewish people. Now, the crazy thing is that they don't mention is 27:40. Now look what it says. So when you grow, so this is the crazy bit. So it says here that the Romans, essentially, Esau, you will live by your sword. Now, what do Christian nations today? What's their biggest export throughout the world? Weaponry. They live by the sword. They have military power. And the Jewish people, they're rich, right? And they control the Christian people. They've literally got a yoke around their neck. The yokes were usually used to put around bulls, and you use a big, strong bull, right, to plow the fields, to do all the hard work for them. The Jewish people are using the Christians to do all the hard work for them. This is crazy. This is crazy. Yeah, if you read the Bible, if I've said, if I've got anything wrong, please pull me up, talk to me about it. I love to have a backwards and forwards conversation. Yeah, so this is why the Christian nations are serving Israel. But like it says in 27:40, they've got the option to break the yoke. So why aren't they? So what kind of yoke do Israel use? These are the types of yokes that they're using. Maybe it's time for the Christian nations to break that yoke, break free from that bondage. Don't be complicit in genocides throughout the world because they want to expand their territory. Break free, my brothers. Break free.